welcome to episode 9 of the Livewire Gaming Show. This week, we've got a very blurry Stephen in the house.
Very good.
Woo! Not on my end. I'm crystal clear. That's what YouTube sees. That's what is real. If it's on the internet, it has to be real. This week, we are going to talk about the things we are guilty of doing in video games. Like hiding in the lockers in Metal Gear Solid 2. Spoiler alert. But yeah, we are going to talk about our gaming guilt trips. We are going to have a little discussion about Trials because both of these guys got to actually play this weekend because it didn't get cancelled after 24 hours. And then we're going to talk about the gaming worlds that we might like to live in. Spoiler alert, mine's going to be the best.
Spoiler alert, we all know what Kev's is going to be.
Spoiler alert, we need to stop him talking about it for an hour.
You may not. Anyway, Stephen's halfway through his pint of Guinness, so we better get going. And he's gone very blurry. Stephen, blurry Stephen, how are you this week?
Yeah, I'm good this week. Didn't get a whole lot of gaming done. Well, actually, no, that's a lie. I did a bit of Trials over the weekend, and then from that, I decided I need to go in and finish the story that I've been complaining about for 2-3 weeks in a row.
Took your time.
So, yeah, but I caught up with it. I'm fully caught up in the story now, so that's a nice feeling to have. And other than that, then I tried to play a bit of Bloodborne again. Got destroyed by the cleric beast, and said, "Fuck it, I'll leave it for another while."
Cleric beast. That's the first boss, right?
The first optional boss, yeah.
Jesus.
The one on the bridge.
Yeah, that's the
where
one.
It has the jankiest camera in all of gaming. Yeah.
So I may just go and fight Gascoigne instead because he's a little bit.
Gascoigne. You just get the musical box and it's no problem.
Oh yeah, I need to do that.
Yeah. Alright, funny story about Cleric Beast. One of my mates was playing it and he was getting really frustrated because he couldn't get it's the first boss, so it's a bit of a skill check early in the game. And he hadn't opened the shortcut.
Oh no.
So he was getting really annoyed working his whole way back up to the Cleric Beast every time he died. I'm like, yeah, it's not. He's like, it takes forever. I'm like, no, it's like a 2-minute run up through the shortcut. What shortcut? But yeah, that's the secret to playing a Soulsborne game. Open your shortcuts, because they will save you a lot of hassle.
Yep.
That was one thing that used to always annoy me about Fallen Order, because if you didn't
it's the same
unlock one of them shortcuts, it's the same concept. You have to go all the way back.
Yeah, it's the same idea.
Yeah.
How are you? How have you been, Dill? What have you been up to?
I've been doing my usual. Waking up, playing some Apex in the morning, getting shit on by lunchtime, playing some WoW for the afternoon, and then jumping on Destiny for a bit. That's basically been my last 7 days. Played some Trials over the weekend with you, Kev.
We will talk about that.
Very enjoyable.
Talk about that. Yeah.
Other than that, nothing really. Just the usual casual gaming.
He's the most hardcore casual gamer I know.
I know.
He's a casual gamer, but he puts in 12 hours a day.
And complain I don't have more.
Yeah. It's like the old thing of I've nothing to play. You 20 games sitting in front of you.
I actually can't imagine going back to work and having to budget out my time again. Because I used to just bring my PlayStation with me when I was away. And that's where I got my late night kind of grind sessions in, but can't bring a PC with me. So it's gonna be Switch life. Well, that was how it started. That was Kev will probably remember. I was originally going to get a gaming laptop just purely for traveling because I was away for 2 or 3 nights a week. I wanted to play Destiny. This was in prime Destiny phase after Shadowkeep, I think it was. And then Kev convinced me to build a PC, or Kev convinced me to let him build me a PC instead.
Something like that.
But yeah, so it'd be weird, but we'll cross that bridge when we get to it. Hopefully sooner.
If we get to it.
No, don't say that.
What about you, Kev? What have you been up to this week?
Played a lot of Trials over the weekend because it was actually quite a good weekend, and there was a lot of people looking for assistance. I quite enjoyed the map. Endless Vale is quite a good Trials map.
Yeah.
Pity it's not on this weekend. It would be even better after the stasis nerfs. But I just embraced the ice this weekend because it's that map you had to. It just because the way
so
it plays,
close quarters,
because it's so small. Just embrace that. I think I played about 120 games, 130 games over the weekend. Steven's not blurry anymore. He broke out of stasis. Steven, don't move. But played a lot of that. Went flawless on Friday with the usual team. Then started doing 3-win carries to get the hand cannon plus bounty. Quite a frustrating weekend for me because I think we did maybe 5 or 6 or 7 3-win carries to get people to hand cannon, and every single one of them ended up as a 6-win card, nearly flawless, and every single one of them fell to cheaters. Like it was, I played more cheaters this weekend than I've played the whole season combined. It was really bad. I think the only card that didn't have cheaters was your one, Dill, which we got you flawless.
Yeah.
You played very, very well. You ran a 1.6 for the card, so you were
from a 0.83,
double. You were getting reported the weekend for double.
I was that guy that gets looked up at Trials.
But like we got Steven.
Yeah,
we got Steven here to 6 wins, who's never played Trials before, and he fell to 5 cheaters in a row. We got everyone, every single Sherpa over the weekend ended up on 6 wins and 6-0, and cheaters. There's a few we nearly beat, but it was bad.
And do you think that's mainly because of disabling the emblem, so the player base?
Yeah, it's a factor, definitely a factor in it, because they can't just win trade their way to flawlesses, so they have to find other ways to do it, and the easiest way is cheaters. Now, another side of that is people getting recovs don't always know.
That they're using.
So an account recovery for the less informed is when you pay somebody, or they do it for free if they're really nice, but you pay somebody to log into your account and play on it, who is much better at Crucible than you are, and can get you a thing. And people make hundreds of thousands of dollars off doing this every weekend. That's not a discussion we need to have if we agree or not with that.
It's a grey area.
A lot of those account recoveries cheat their way there, so a lot of people end up with banned accounts. So
and like that with the emblem kind of cheat that they were using, it was kind of like the less risky way. So I'd say a lot of people 100%. Who normally would cheat would kind of go down that route just to kind of say we can use this account for another weekend on top of this,
100%. Now the other side of that is the amount of not to be a dick, but the amount of really poor teams that we came up against was multiplied as well. So like the first 4 or 5 games of most cards were against really poor teams that were just planning to get the hand cannon and get to maybe 5 wins to get an extra piece of armor, but most of them were not very good teams. And then it was weird. You'd play against 3 or 4 not very good teams. You'd play against 1 or 2 average teams, and then cheaters. Yeah. And if you weren't playing against cheaters, you were playing against Triple Wreck and Benny, and you beat them. Let's go. But and then you fall to a cheater in the next game. Yeah. So what did you guys think of Trials? I know
we're going into Trials discussion, are we?
We might as well get it out of the way.
Stephen, that shouldn't even be called a transition because that was smooth as hell.
That was smoother than my chest.
Ballsack.
That's for Fridays and Saturdays.
One of these guys is a doctor. Let me let you guess which one.
That's the medical. That's the medical term for it. Anyway, someone who has played a lot of Trials in the past and kind of fell out of the game mode, and someone who has never played the game mode. How did you feel about it over the weekend?
Stephen, take the wheel.
I actually really, really enjoyed it. Now, what I didn't enjoy was
getting shouted at by Kev.
No, but I didn't. That's the thing. And I think that's the thing I was most fearful of was that
Get shouted at by Kev.
But
Stephen, we all fear it. It's okay.
But it's the fear of letting someone else down because you're not good enough. And I am 100% not good enough to play Trials. I am not the person who goes flawless, and I don't go in with the expectation that I'll go flawless. Now, I was expecting to get...
I was so good to not get you that flawless.
But, so, like, I think the listeners, all two of them need to know as well that, like, I was severely underleveled. I was, what, 12?
1263.
Igneous Hammer Depth was one tapping you.
But this is the thing. So, like, I was getting one tapped in some cases, and what I was doing was I was basically designated stasis grenade thrower. So I'd run to the lane if they were there, throw a grenade, and I would snipe to try and, if there was someone there that was stupid enough to stand in my way, I'd get them. And I'd get a few of them. But when it came to actually engaging people, I was useless. So I generally was the orb, and I was just going, they're over here, they're over there, they're doing this, they're doing that.
They're on toilet, they're in toilet.
I think that helped, but I always have that fear of I'm the one letting the team down, but not having the pressure of the guys have gone flawless. They're doing this knowing that I only care about 3 wins.
Yeah.
And after that was fun. Now, there was a little bit of toxicity kicking in because we got these cheaters and we were getting frustrated. I think the frustration was because we got into 6-0 and we were on 7 and then cheaters.
Yeah.
But I still really enjoyed it, and I think if it wasn't for the cheaters, if we had just gone 6 and had lost to good teams, I still would have walked away the same. But
I'd be happy if I got the 6 wins every weekend and lost good teams all weekend. I'd be like, no problem. I don't care. I lost to a better team than me. What can you do? That's life. There's someone is always going to be better than you are, and someone is always going to be worse than you are. But it's losing to somebody who can see you through walls. That when they click their mouse, the camera automatically spins and locks onto your head. That
was really obvious as well this weekend.
It's so obvious.
In that there was. I remember there one being. I think I was dead, and I was watching you coming out from the Flora spawn side where you're looking up B flag, and you literally just went out, but it wasn't in the middle of a round or anything. It was it was in the middle of the round, it wasn't the start, and there was no one there. You stuck your head out, and then bam, you were dead. And the guy was hiding in at mid B, and just poked his head out at the right time and got you. And it's like, there's no fucking way.
Yeah, you can see it. You can see how they move. They kind of crab walk. Like there's no actual movement.
They're trying to trace you.
Yeah, they literally trace you. They can see the outline around the square around you, and they just trace that with their gun as it's coming out and just fire the shot. And you can't. It's so difficult to play again. Like it's hard. Anyway, I know Stephen, you're saying that you were an orb most of the time and you struggled in engagements and you didn't want to let down blah 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 blah. But one thing I will say is you actually followed, not instructions, because instructions is not the right word, but you followed direction very well. Like if we said, Stephen, we need you to do this, you will do that. Or we're rotating out of our spawn to B flag, you would move with the team. So you did follow that kind of. You picked up on what you were being asked or directed to do very well.
Mm-hmm. Which it's needed. Like I think in that game mode, you have to communicate well.
Like one thing I find that like it's something that I picked up on from doing Sherpas in D1. If you could have the worst player on your team, but if they follow what you're telling them to do, and generally that's just don't get picked.
Yeah.
If they can follow those simple instructions, it's a much easier thing. But if they think, I can take these on, I'm not listening, I'm just going to go and get myself... Like, a Sherpa can go from being fine to being horrendous quite simply because the person is just getting killed. Now, you're not expecting them to go and clean out the whole enemy team, but just having 3 people alive will slow down the enemy team going, we can push on these.
It's an intimidation factor as well.
As soon as they get that first pick, they're saying, we've got a 3v2. Chances are we're going to win.
Yeah, definitely.
And so after that experience, Stephen, like, did you enjoy the pressure? Like, because it is a more higher standard PvP game mode. Like, you know, some people just can't. I know personally, I used to be like that as well. As soon as you load in and you just hear Trials of Osiris, you're kind of like, holy shit, you're on edge, and you feel like you can't settle and obviously then perform well. Like, did it give you the kind of encouragement to be like, do you know what, I want to actually try this out if it's a decent reward at 3 wins each weekend to kind of build yourself up, you know?
Well, I think because I didn't realize how badly I was at a disadvantage by being under leveled.
Yeah.
So when Kev was like, "Oh, I didn't realize you were 1263," I was like, "Oh, that's fine." Like, because I'm not used to game modes having power enabled.
Yeah.
So when in the first game I went into the laneway and I got 2-tapped by whatever fucking hand cannon was, I was like, "Oh shit!" I was like, "This is serious."
Yeah.
So after that, then I kind of was like, "Okay, I need to be careful." So I was throwing grenades, going out. Like, as soon as I saw that I clipped someone, I would go out, quickly snipe in. Is anyone there? No. Get out, run, do something else. So I started playing more as a team, going, right, okay, I need to stay alive. I'm doing what I can to give as much information as possible. And I'm at a severe disadvantage. Like, if I make one mistake, I'm probably dead. So I started playing better. Like, even though I'm not a good shot and I can't compete against people, I started being more tactical. So if Kev or Chaotix were saying, "Don't go down laneway," I wouldn't. I go, "Okay, don't go down lane. Something's going on." So I'd move over to B, or I'd take a quick look at maybe the toilet side because one or two tried to flank us, and I'd call out, "Here they are." So I didn't enjoy the pressure of I'm not going to be able to engage them, but I enjoyed that it made me think differently about how I engage.
Yeah.
And I think not having the pressure of these guys are expecting me to play on my skin so they can go flawless meant I didn't really care if we won or lost. So I think I did enjoy it. Like, I think if it came up this weekend and there was another, if Kev or you text me saying, "Oh, there's another good weapon at 3, do you want to do it?" I'd go, "Yeah."
Even at 5. Even at 5.
Yeah.
Yeah, even at 5. Like, because that in itself might be enough of an incentive to try and play better for 5 consecutive games. To go, yeah, let's try go 5-0, and maybe the next time if I play it every week, it's let's go 6-0, and maybe in a few weeks' time, a flawless will be there.
But like, even to have that kind of mindset or mentality to change it up so quickly, like, I still haven't learned to change it up, and I've been playing it on and off for the last few years, and it is hard. I find, especially sniping, when you're told specifically not to challenge at specific locations, but you know it's a 50-50. If you're lucky or he's lucky, it's gonna roll one of two ways, and unfortunately, like Kev was saying, turning that into a 3v2 is the aim of the game, and to know not to push or not to pick. And like, I think it is nice to be humbled as well, to the sense that, like you said, you got 2 tapped once by a hand cannon. You knew not to make that same mistake again. So if that didn't happen until game 5 or 6, and then that dictated whether you were going flawless or not, I think that would have been a little bit more kind of tougher to take. But like, to have that kind of change in your game plan so quick and so early on, like you said, if this was your first weekend playing it, that's really good.
And that was something that you said there, Dill, is actually what I was trying to, when we were trying to help people that would be of a lower level or a lower skill, whatever. The one thing that I was trying to get across was I would prefer that we're at 3v3 than have a small chance of you going in and killing one person and ending up at a 2v2. Because at least when we're at a 3v3, it's pure level playing field, or because we're both stronger players, they aren't going to be worried. They're not going to be thinking, "Oh, we can get a push on now because we got someone down." So the thing I was trying to advise on was focus first on staying alive, because it's not like team deathmatch. It's not like Clash or Control where, you die and you're back. And you die and you're in a terrible spot. You're gone for the round. So you're automatically putting pressure on your teammates. Whereas if you can let the stronger player on a team get that first pick, then you can just collapse as a trio.
Mm-hmm.
Like, I know
one.
No, go on ahead, Stephen. Go.
I was gonna say there was one game I remember where I kind of went against the advice, which was don't go in the lane. But there was an orb. I think you had killed someone. You were in the wedge in B, and you'd taken someone, and their orb was like right in the center of the lane. And I was like, okay, I have a sniper. I'm not realistically going to challenge them. And you were calling for everyone to go to B side. So I was like, I'm going to stick in the lane because someone's going to try and get that spawn, and I'm going to hopefully not fuck this up and kill him. Not realizing that, again, I'm underpowered, and the chances of me actually one-shot headshotting someone is slim. But the guy who was a hunter, and he must have had low resilience on. So he went for the res. I allowed him to get the res. He took the res. I took him, went back, took the second guy, and as the second guy went down, Chaotix had already finished off the third guy on B. And I was like, oh, I was like, this is good.
All them can save clip.
I wish I did. I hadn't got GeForce experience on. I was like, fuck.
But that's another thing. It's like Kev is a very good IGL in Trials in that he knows how to read the maps. He knows when to rotate, and if someone's here, you should push through to here type thing. So to kind of not listen to that sometimes, you know, it's a risk.
It's scary
because you're gonna get one of these.
The Kev side, but at the same time, it's that knowing that I have a chance here to keep this down and potentially take someone else out as well. That in that moment, it's very hard to convey that message without hearing fucking Guardian down or one of them have been killed. There's that like split second where your thought process is, I'm fixated on this point now. There's no moving me. If I move, I'll get killed in transit, and then nothing will happen from it. But just to be able to take that is really good. Yeah.
I think that was the first thing I said to you though. It was play your own game.
Yeah.
Don't go crazy and getting yourself early picked because that puts us at a disadvantage. But play your own game while being aware of your limitations in light level. It wasn't you have to do everything I say. You're not allowed to use the super that I tell you to use it. Because if you're waiting for me to tell you to use your super or to push something or whatever, you're already a second or two behind. Rather than I've made a decision, I'm doing this. So when you had your super, for instance, it was like, Steven, go to have fun with it, do what you want.
Yeah.
But don't overcommit to it. That if you're in a spot where, I'm gonna get killed if I push these, just stop and wait for us to catch up with you. But it was a case of just enjoy yourself and play your game.
And having all that tied into not being the first card of the weekend, you knew the guys had gone flawless. You knew what you were going for was attainable at 3 wins. Taking that whole mix together does really alleviate the pressure.
Yeah,
and like Kev was saying, playing your own game.
It's interesting hearing it from that perspective. Because obviously I've never been at that perspective.
But that's
my perspective is must win at all costs. If I don't win, I'm in a bad mood.
it's rampant in terms of the pressure does build up when you know if you're the weak link and you get picked, like Stephen was saying, if you feel like you're letting the team down, it's hard to convey that without coming across like you're getting salty or you're getting pissed off or you're going into your shell because you just But when the games are good, they're good.
One thing that you actually
everyone
said
knows to have a bad day. No, I was just gonna say, like, everyone knows you can have a bad day and that's okay. But it's when you're consistently the worst player, that's when you go, I don't want to do this.
Yeah.
However, the only way is up.
Exactly. Well, unless you're me on Apex on the last while.
When you see yourself as the worst player, you can only get better. And that's what actually, in my opinion, that's what helped me improve. When I was playing in D1 with Davey, I'd always see Davey as a better player than me. And I hated that I wasn't the best player on my team. So I had to try get better to feel like I was on a level playing field with my teammates.
Yeah.
Something you said, like Dill, is actually, like, I wouldn't think I've got the best gun skill. Like, I'm good, but I don't have the most amazing gun skill. But what I find, what helps me more is that knowledge of how maps work, of how game modes work. And it goes back to playing Warhammer when I was younger, just having that knowledge of the tactical side of things.
Yeah.
I feel like that's where my strongest part is the actual knowledge of the tactical side of things.
Because that's all it is at the end of the day. Like, that's how these streamers do their 2 people carries or their single carries every weekend. It's known. It's one thing Etsky was used to say. Well, Etsky still does say to me is like,
it's all
if
in the
you're
rotations.
But like that, it's turning a 1v3 into a 1v1v1.
Yeah.
Like, constantly moving someone into a position to take them out, and then it's in a 1v2.
Yeah.
And then moving someone else into a position. It's just to think on the fly like that. I'm always amazed.
That's
by
how
it.
I was fine. That's what I was doing. So say if I was in a 1v3, I'd pull them to. So there's 2 angles that they can push me from, and only 2 angles that they can push me from. So if I get a blink from one side of it, and I know there's 2 of them that side, I know that the blink on the other side is a solo.
Yeah.
So I'll try pull them in from one side of me. I'll try pull them in on one side of the pinch, and then take them out in a 1v1. And if I've taken them out in a 1v1, suddenly I've got an orb to use to my advantage, because they want to try get their teammate up.
Yeah.
And then I know that I've got a 1v2, that if I can try and pull them into another angle to get another 1v, it's exactly what Etsky's saying. Yeah, it's making it a 1v1v1, or doing that bullshit Titan slide and taking them.
I was just gonna say,
or using that bullshit Titan slide
HP for half the time
and just
well.
pulling them in, and then they're all just dead in one shot anyway.
But that's like, as much as people shit on the game mode, it's like any competitive kind of scene. It's that kind of, it's just more tactical, and you have to think of each game differently than you normally would if you were just playing normal PvP.
One thing that Stasis has done is Stasis has made it more difficult to win those 1v3s.
Yeah.
Like, because of this freeze abilities.
Yeah.
Yeah. Like 1v3s before Stasis were not necessarily easier, but they were more manageable because there's no I just used my ability and now you're frozen in place thing that they can do to you. Obviously you can do the same, but they have 3 of them. You only have 1 of them. Or whatever.
And it's unfortunate that when the abilities are overshadowing the gunplay, that it skyrockets. There's no every second instance could be different. It's every instance is the same, unfortunately. And like that,
how good is Igneous Hammer?
So good. Now actually, I can't really comment on it so much because the only time I tested it was the other night in Iron Banner with you guys, and it was laggy banner, so
it was bad.
Headshots weren't hitting, and I only saw DMG's comment on it this evening. So the fact that went so many days without being addressed, I was like, it's probably not actually an issue. It was probably just bad connection, but
it was bad.
Kind of,
it was really bad.
It was
Tuesday night.
So I didn't get that 2-tap rampage kills I was hoping to see. I was getting 4 taps on people, but it's fun to use like that. It's
the added range it has makes it feel like I can actually compete at range again.
Yeah.
Rather than I have to be within 10 meters of you, or I'm getting 27 headshots, 27 damage to the head. How did you find Trials though, Dill?
Yeah, I had a really good weekend personally, and just the enjoyment that we had playing it.
Who was it? Was it me, you, and Kraut, or me, you, and Kraut?
Me, you, and Kraut. We went. We done our first card, and we went flawless on that one card. No resets, which was great. Going into the game, it was the first week I was using my Pally Bastion combo, which is my crutch now that no one can take away from me. But yeah, just play. I don't know what it was. Going into this weekend, I felt like I had more in-game confidence, which I feel really helped. Knowing how Kev and Kraut play together, they play off each other a lot. So
in more ways than one.
But being that extra person that it's instead of just grouping up all together and playing with them, I could kind of go off and do my own thing, and having that extra confidence, doing your own thing, and being able to get a pick, maybe 2, really did kind of show. But yeah, no, I had a really good weekend. We didn't come across any cheers. There was one suspect, but
I think we beat them though, didn't we?
We did. Yeah. It was for our 5th game, and then we had 2 tough games actually for our last.
Yeah, we had 2 very close games. Yeah.
Yeah.
Where we played well and clutched up.
The map, I love that map. It's probably my favorite D2 map in general. I just love the flow on it.
I think it flows very well because it was built for 4v4. Like when they were showing off 4v4 PvP for the D2 launch for vanilla D2, that map was for showcase. It was the showcase map. So I feel like I feel like in a 3v3 it flows very well, whereas some of the D1 maps are built for 6s. And they don't flow as well anymore in 3v3. But anyway.
And it has it's nice that the gun meta or the weapon meta is at a spot where using one thing isn't the be all and end all right now. So that you're not looking down main lane and seeing 3 sniper glares looking at you. You're not pushing onto B and getting trampled by 3 shotguns. It's a bit more diverse. So no 2 games are the same, which is great. Like,
I feel like the sandbox is in a place where if you come across that aggressive shotgunning team, there's ways to play against it.
Yes.
If you come across
that's what I was trying to say.
3 sniper glints looking down main lane, there's ways to counter it. Whereas in previous metas, it's been shotgunners are running around.
Revoker mind
benders. To deal with them. Revokers running. Oh, the game mode's so much better without Revoker. It's so much better without having that fucking clutch.
Yeah, like there's no out and out outliers right now.
The only one currently that I can think of, apart from the only gun I can think of that's kind of maybe a bit of an outlier at the moment, is the Dead Man's Tail.
Disco, yeah.
Because you can hip fire it, it's quite accurate. Like you can just sit there clicking heads, hip firing. It's a little bit powerful in the right hands, but other than that,
Felwinter's Lie killed me an awful lot.
Yeah, it's the best shotgun in the energy slot. That's why.
And that's even like that kind of steered me in the direction of using fusions. Because of that, you were constantly getting trampled by shotguns, and Felwinter's being the most prominent one. It's kind of, if you're not in tune with using a shotgun, and I know I'm not, it's very hard to bridge that gap between them. So what I done was I increased the gap and used Bastion and fucking decimate them.
Bastion is actually...
It's ridiculous.
It's disgusting.
But
if you're a Titan, stand behind your high wall, and if they fire a Bastion at that shield, the high Titan wall, you're dead. If it goes, the first 2 Bastion shots break the shield, and the third one kills you. It's disgusting.
Well, that's what it was brought for, wasn't it? To take down Titan
so
shields and to combat.
But again,
supers.
it's
and that you use Citron's ramparts.
Titan ramparts.
With Bastion behind it. Could you
don't need to. You don't need to. Bastion fires a 3 burst. They only have to hit you with one of those bursts to kill you.
No, I mean if you had Bastion as a Titan.
Oh yeah, you could, but there's no point because it already does so much damage.
All right,
but it like especially in dealing with supers, I really.
Oh yeah, that's actually how we went flawless in the final round. Dill was getting pushed by a behemoth Titan before nerf. It's a lot better since the nerf, by the way. And he took down a behemoth Titan by himself with a Bastion. He just stood there and went chunk, and then we went flawless.
Yeah. But that's the thing. It's like, if you're getting chased by a Dawnblade, there's no way you're going to run away unless you're in a small enclosed space. There's no way you're going to be able to shotgun it. So just kind of trying to get that angle on them and get those Bastion shots in really did help with taking down supers as a team, because all it takes is one of you guys to throw 1 or 2 hand cannon shots in and they're dead then.
Dead.
Whereas, it's I know it's a crutch, but I'm enjoying using it because I know my charge up time. I know my positioning, the distance to be away from shotgunning. If it's a hunter charging, you know the slides coming and the dodge. So just positioning does take a while getting used to, but if it gets nerfed, I'll be onto Glacioclasm.
Yeah, I think that's the best way to play in it as well. I know it's competitive, but just play with what you like playing with. You don't have to use stasis. You don't have to use Felwinters or Astral plus Steady Hand or Igneous. Like, if you like using Palindrome and Bastion, you like using Ace of Spades or Hawkman. Play your game, because if you're enjoying it more, you're gonna do far better.
And like, I think that just needs to be conveyed more for people to want to try out the game mode. And between that and the rewards, they will play hand in hand. Like you saw, was it last weekend? It was the highest weekend.
The most players ever, I think, in the Trials.
Like, that's crazy. All because of a hand cannon.
I do take some issue with it being at the 3-win mark. And not because it's at the 3-win mark, but because the 3-win reward is also the bounty reward.
Yes.
So instead of people playing to get 3 wins, they just jump off the map.
Yeah, I heard about jumping off the map, actually.
The amount of games you match in game 1 or game 2, and it's just people throwing themselves off the map because 10 losses equals bounty completion, or 4 wins. So if they just throw themselves off the map 10 games, they just think, we don't have to try anything. We just get a free weapon, and it's the best hand cannon in the game currently. That's where I take the problem with it. But again, people are always going to find that it's the quickest way to get stuff done.
But like that, especially being based off wins, or it's based off your card, isn't it? The matchmaking now. So even like you said, the first 3 or 4 games of our card was kind of quote unquote easy. That's the way it should be.
I feel like the bounty should be win 3 games. But you have to win 3 games. You get no progress for losing games.
Yeah, I just feel that's a bit of a gray area, because like that, trying to put like someone else's shoes on, it's hard, like especially if you're a solo player, to LFG and to win even a round.
I get that. I do get that to an extent, but you're not going to get better by throwing yourself off the map.
And that's the thing. I think they need to find that nice middle ground where it shows 100%. People, holy shit, we can actually get this. If they get 2 wins one weekend, or they get their bounties done, and then next weekend
you have to get, even if it's that you have to get 30 kills, just to spitball a number, you have to get 30 kills, and when you get 30 kills, there's your reward.
Incentivization. But are they individual or team kills?
Team kills.
Defeats.
Team bounties are fine.
Defeats.
Yeah.
So in Destiny, it all goes off defeats. So it's a kill or an assist. Or you can do it. You have to get 50, but a kill is worth 3 or whatever. I don't know. And
I think team would be good. I
just think you need to incentivize people to continue playing the mode, not circumvent the mode.
But I think there is I would be the person who probably could play with 2 other friends who are as bad as I am and never get a win, potentially never get a kill, and I'd never get that weapon. And
you got kills though.
I know, but you could argue then that if I'm not good enough, I don't deserve to get access to those weapons, and I agree to that.
I disagree. I do disagree with that. If everyone should have access to all of the gear in the game, they 100% should.
Yeah.
Obviously, the people who are better at it are going to get it quicker. Mm-hmm. Like the hand cannon, I had the adept version 3 weeks ago or whatever, and now it's at the 3-win. You're able to get it. I just don't think that you should be rewarded for jumping off the map.
Yeah. But team kills is a good way of doing it.
Yeah, 100%. 100%.
All the Trials bounties are team based.
Yeah, they are. They're all team based.
No, they are. Yeah.
For instance, sniper, get 15 sniper kills was a bounty last weekend. I didn't put a sniper on all weekend.
Yeah.
Kraut was sniping, and he was getting that bounty completed for me. So
the two team
based is fine by me. Yeah. I just feel
running shotguns, and I only got 5 sniper kills, and they're all mine.
I just feel like the bounties and the rewards should be incentivizing people to continue playing. And also, I don't think that weapon bounty, that shouldn't be 1 per weekend. That should reset every single day.
Daily reset.
So you can get, and maybe the first time you complete it, it's a specific reward. So this weekend it's the hand cannon, or last weekend it was the hand cannon. But I think on day 2, it should be a random reward of anything you've had before.
Yeah.
Maybe not. I don't know. But I
feel
like
a good way to keep that consistent population up there, because then you'll have people logging in at daily reset between Friday and Tuesday
100%.
instead of just Friday evening or Saturday evening, you know.
Yeah.
Or even changes so that it's a weapon. You know, that if at 3 wins it's a weapon drop, that the bounty is also a weapon, but if you've unlocked all the other weapons, then each day it'll be a weapon drop, and then if it's the following week it's armor, well then it's an armor drop.
You know, it generally cycles anyway. So for instance, last weekend it was hand cannon at 3, 5
chest.
wins was the chest, 7 wins was the legs, and then flawless was
legs,
the sword. So
Alright.
I just different ways. It does rotate every week.
I do hope they are looking at these.
I do think the bounty should reset
ways.
Yeah, 100%.
Because it would turn that into the apprehensive game mode for some, and then the try hard game mode for others. Into this is another thing that's available from Friday through Tuesday.
It's for everybody,
as much as we want.
But it's for everybody. But if you're at that high end, there's incentive to play that. But if you're at the lower end, there's incentive to actually play, not
and like
win trade or not throw yourself off the map. Actually try to improve. Everybody has their skill ceiling. Everyone has a limit. But there's always someone better than you, and there's always someone worse than you. And just because you've matched against 2.0 players 3 games in a row, the 4th game might be someone who's never stepped foot in Trials before.
Exactly.
And you get the shit on them for a change.
Yeah.
So what about then, so you're saying everyone should get access to everything, but if you're good, you get it quicker. But if you're like me, and you play with players like me, you'll never get flawless until way ahead where you might get better. Should there be access through, say, a bounty where, you know, if you play consistently over the weekend, you're getting wins, you get points, if you get kills, you get points, that you can get a pick of the flawless?
I think there should be a seasonal bounty that you can complete. So it might be win 50 games across the season, or win 100 games, or win 200 rounds across the season. That if you're playing all weekend, it's an extra reward that you're going to get really quick.
Yeah.
But if you're someone who doesn't play a lot or can't play a lot, that there is something long term to chase, that you know, okay, I've got between February and May to win 150, 200 rounds of Trials games. It may take me till the last weekend of the season, but I know that at the end of the season I'm gonna get, and I don't think it should be a choice. I think you should get what you call it?
Token?
A material. So an adept modifier, say. So the weapons, the thing is, adept weapons is what you get at the lighthouse some weekends. Now, if you have an igneous hammer, you can infuse it with this adept modifier, whatever you want to call it, a material, and make one of your ones adept. But I think that should be a thing anyway. That you,
so that makes it more desirable then.
Yeah, so you could say, I've got this really good normal igneous hammer, and if I win 200 rounds or 50 games or kill 300 guardians across the whole season in Trials of Osiris, that at the end of it, I'm going to be able to make this hand cannon even better.
And I do like that, having a seasonal objective.
I think there should be. Because everything else has... Iron Banner has a seasonal quest.
I do feel the choice would be nice. If you got a pick of the adept weapons, you get to pick one. And then you do another bounty and you get to pick one piece of armor. Because there's a fine line between this is an end game mode and this is for higher tier players. Same with raids. Like I always try to think of it in terms of PvE as well. You don't have it's the smallest percentage participant game mode in the game. So why should everything be handed out? I hate using that phrase, but at the same time, it's if you had that goal over a season to obtain that without having to be at that level, I think that's amazing. That's fantastic.
And I think
personally,
that's where
I wouldn't go flawless if it wasn't, or if I wouldn't have got what I got over the weekend if it wasn't for Kev. And if you don't have someone like that in your friend group who's willing to help out, it is. But like that, it puts people down that route.
To your streamer.
Which is unfortunate because then you go into account recalls.
It creates a very bad I don't know.
It's FOMO again, where people want to.
I think that's where the weekly bounty comes in very well, and that it gives that chance to get that reward that's at 3 wins. That eventually you will get the full armor set, because the loot in Trials doesn't refresh for a full 12 months. So if you do that bounty every week, chances are you will have, if you have 3 characters, you will have 3 of everything. Now it will take you 12 months, and I think that's where the bounty does alleviate some of those issues. But I do think they could create that long tail chase of, if you play enough, you will eventually be able to get an adept. Everyone likes having that adept. Igneous Hammer, adept. The Messenger, and it's got a different
sword, adept.
It's got a different skin on it as well. They have a slightly different skin.
Yeah.
But I think they're going the right direction with it. But I'd like them to double down at both ends. So make everything more accessible, but also give more at the other end to incentivize the good players to keep going and keep doing more.
Yeah.
If there was ornamented armor sets again, there's something else to chase as at the high end, or a different armor set, or I don't know, anything. There's lots of different ways they can do it.
It's the same.
We should probably move on though soon.
It's the same thing with raids. Like, we don't have a. I know we had the easy or the normal raid and the hard raid.
We're gonna have it again though.
But that was the perfect balance to say you can still do this activity if you want to LFG and put 6 random people together. It's still obtainable. So to find that kind of in between with PvP would be really nice. Because like after last weekend, it has enticed me to want to actively play PvP in Destiny again. Like, I know we play Iron Banner casually. We play Crucible kind of casually every now and again, but it has incentivized me to want to kind of get better again. Well, just get better, full stop.
But it's what as well in the likes of Apex or anything like to get to diamond rank, you get a particular dive trail, you get a particular badge, you get to platinum rank, you get certain things, gold rank, whatever, or not gold, master and Apex pred. Like, it incentivizes people to continually improve.
Yeah,
because they can think, if I get to this rank this season, I get to this really cool thing. So I don't think it's a bad thing having enticing rewards that not everyone is going to get at least straight away, but could down the line be able to get something. I know in Destiny it's slightly different in that it's a looter shooter. It's not a free to play game. It's you pay your money, and you could argue, well, if I paid my money, I should be able to get everything. But it's not bad having things that not everyone can get straight away. In Destiny, when Trials first launched in July 2015 or whatever it was, I was saying, I'm never going to get to the lighthouse. There's not a chance I'm ever going to get to the lighthouse. But you improve. That's life. I can't be a doctor because I didn't go to college for 20 fucking years. But if I wanted to go to college for 20 years, I could and become a doctor. But
I think all in all, we had a good weekend.
Yeah, I enjoyed my weekend.
It was all positive.
My favorite part wasn't even going flawless. My favorite part was watching someone else's Twitch chat pop off because I did something. So I was the star of someone else's stream for a couple of minutes. That was great.
And you didn't fucking plug us. Seriously, why didn't you plug us?
Is this why we have no viewers right now?
That's a shady area. That's a shady area, right? And the Trials discussion, because that went on for 40 minutes.
Come on, move on.
Right, we are moving on.
Trials.
We are moving on to our gaming guilt trip.
Come on.
So things we're guilty of doing in games, or gaming, or kind of things that you leave them in your closet of shame. I'll start it off. I can start because I know my first one and it's my main one, and we've already spoken about it tonight, and it's the Kev Sigh.
Kev Sigh is famous in so many Discords.
So the Kev Sigh is, it's not even if you make a mistake, or it's not even if something goes wrong. It's when you do something really stupid that causes a raid wipe, or we lose a game or something. It's not even that I force it, it's just a natural reaction. It's just kind of like a... And that means when I get really if I'm disappointed, it's that I am disappointed. If something happens that something goes wrong, and I will try and fix it and say, let's try do it this way, or let's look at it this way, or here's what we need to do. When the Kev sigh happens, is that you've done something so stupid so many times that I've just given up on you. And it's quite condescending. And that
so if you ever heard a Kev sigh after hearing the fucking example of what it is,
and the best part is though, the best part is when I do it, nobody says, Kev, what are you sighing about? They just accept. It's like he's disappointed in me.
Yeah, the Kev sigh famously happens at the is it the Shirochi encounter when people have to jump on the.
Oh, the
he's
puzzle.
He's even reacting now.
That does not get a Kev sigh. That gets a, are you stupid? Can you not count from 1 to 4? Yeah.
Stephen, after playing Phoenix,
but you know what's funny?
Class at that.
You know what's funny? Louise even knows about the Kev sigh because she's heard it so many times. Not aimed at her, but when I've been playing when I'm playing games, she'd be like, someone's done something wrong. Kev sigh. Yeah, it's just I'm disappointed. I'm not mad at you. I'm not angry at you.
It's the situation.
I'm just disappointed in you. And it's like, I can't believe you just did that. That's what it is. I cannot believe you just did that. We all make mistakes.
Your first gaming guilt trip is shaming other people. Like, I'm looking at my.
I'm saying that I'm ashamed that I do it. I wish I didn't do it. No,
you're not.
I wish I didn't do it. I wish I had a way of, like, we're Irish. We're all from Dublin, so we've got a very kind of blunt, kind of aggressive kind of accent. So when we're trying to explain something that someone's done something wrong and we're trying to suggest a way to do it better, our accent doesn't allow us to say that in a nice, kind, hold your hand, lead you along, we'll be okay kind of way. When we try to explain something to someone who isn't getting something, it sounds like we're attacking their character.
Yeah, there's no nice way to say, for Jesus!
We're not able. Our accent doesn't allow us to do it. It's just the kind of accent we have, and I apologize for all the times I've said something and someone says, geez, Kev's fucking tearing into me. I'm really not. I just want to get this thing done the same way the rest of us do. But please learn how to count from 1 to 4 to do the Shirochi puzzle.
And skip the one that's not yours.
I got given out to today for doing a Nightfall too efficiently, by the way. That was quite funny. Right, moving on. Dill, you said we're going to go anti-clockwise this week. On my end,
it's nothing because we're all in different positions.
On my end, it's anti-clockwise.
All right. So my first one is when you. Well, sorry, no, mine
when
actually. No, mine is like a certain situation when Kev ditched me to play on PC at the start of D2. I'm only joking. When I had to start raiding by myself on LFG in D2 when Leviathan came out.
So happy I don't have to LFG anymore.
But you know when it's a new raid has come out and you see the posts must have blah 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 blah.
Must have emblem plus rocket launcher plus
Yeah, exactly. So my whole thing was I'd watch videos and videos and videos. I'd study the encounter. I'd know it inside out. And then I'd go do it for the first time. And it was the whole, everyone here knows what they're doing, right? Yeah, never done it before. Everyone's done this before, right? Yeah, no, I haven't done it before. This was before the emblem trackers came on as well. And
put your emblem on, put your tracker.
Can't see shit. Have you done this before? Yeah, just haven't finished it, so I don't have the emblem. That's basically what it was. And it was going in, and 9 times out of 10, it would never be an issue. But that was always my thing at the start when a new raid came out and I had to LFG it. Everyone's done this? Yep. No, never done it. Just, I knew it inside out, so it was fine. So nobody was at a disadvantage.
Speaking of LFG, just a little quick segue. I was going through my phone photos yesterday trying to find a certain picture. And I actually found an old LFG post that I'd screenshot when looking for a Trials team, whatever, 4 years ago.
Oh, is this the one that you sent it to?
And it was this so the on LFG, like level 34, Crucible, Trials of Osiris, been flawless before. I enjoy the finer things in life, like farting in the Glade plug section of Walmart, looking for two like-minded guardians.
That's just an auto invite.
No, that was an auto refresh page.
But yeah, that's it. It was just one of those, it's just bridging that initial gap. It's once you get that first clear, it's plain sailing because you know how it goes. You're not being carried, you're participating.
Yeah.
And I think that's the big difference now when you do have a team, and
that's so good.
There is some people that do be carried every now and again, and it's annoying because no, not you.
You think you're a carry. You're really not.
You're not. Mr. Flawless every time.
And I think that should be Steven's number one thing on his list of guilty things he's ashamed of, is underestimating himself.
Yeah, big time. But no, it was one of those. Nobody.
No,
wants
it's not
to
fair.
know.
Believe it or not.
Underestimates himself so much. It's crazy. I can't do this. I'm not the best player. I don't know what to do. Steven, did you die in that raid? No. Do you know how the encounter works? Oh yeah, perfectly. Anyway.
Nobody wants to know the encounters nowadays. People just want to have
You're like me, Dill. You're like me, Dill. You like knowing how everything works. Inside out, back to front, left to right, upside down. Like if you ask me to explain how to do any encounter in any raid in Destiny, I'll be able to explain it to you on the spot. Apart from the final boss of Crown of Sorrow, because I'm terrible at that. Don't judge
I
me.
love that. That's probably one of my favorite encounters.
I love the encounter, but I'm terrible at explaining it.
Yeah.
Steven.
That's my one anyway. So Firehead, Steven.
Steven's is gonna be. So this here behind me isn't real.
I still can't believe that. I genuinely
believe you thought. Like seriously,
don't break the illusion. No!
It's not real. Was that just a glitch in the Matrix?
Yeah. I actually feel ashamed of my guilt trips because
57 minutes. I'm actually gonna put a Matrix background in there to hide that.
Write it down. 57. There we go. Okay, so mine are actually like
Mr. Editor.
Mine are actual things that I've done that I feel guilty about, and now that you were like, "Oh, it's about LFGing and not knowing it," or I'm like, "Fuck."
Here's where Steven tells us that time we wiped on that boss where I ate the head off somebody else, it was him.
No, actually, can I own up to something? The other day, what was it? You gave out to a blueberry for doing something. Oh, it was in Control. The blueberry did something, and you were like,
"Can I own up to something?" I knew it was you.
Okay, that's fine.
Kev says blueberry because he wants to say you fucked up so bad, but he doesn't want to say to you that you fucked up so bad, so it was the blueberry's fault.
That's fine.
No, okay.
As long as he knows. Okay. I knew it was me.
No, okay.
I've been on the end of that so many times.
Okay, hold on. Yeah, you have. Hold on, though. It's not that I don't want you to know. I say automatically, "Blueberry, why haven't you killed it?" And then I look at my radar and realize it was one of you guys.
Green.
But instead of saying, instead of turning around and saying, "Oh, Dylan, why didn't you do that?" I just let it go. I just
the atmosphere is forever untainted.
But the thing is, you get the message.
Exactly. Still do it again, though.
Yeah, no, anyway. Steven, I knew that was you. I just said nothing.
That's fine. That's cool. Don't know.
Oh.
So actually, I'm gonna go with one of my least things that are guilt gaming trip wise.
Come on, go balls deep. Give us the juice.
No,
shit.
I'm gonna start off quite easy, which is probably balls deep for some people. Which is having an opinion other than praising The Last of Us.
How's that something you're ashamed of? You're clearly proud of that. You bring it up every week.
People make me feel ashamed of it. They're like, see, I went with guilt trips as in, like, I should feel guilty because I did this and I don't like The Last of Us. But I don't, because I don't like it. And people always go,
Eddie judges you.
Yeah, well, that statue was wrong. So anyway.
I'm not touching mine.
I wish it had been an Abby statue, not going to lie. It would have been way cooler.
I know.
But, like, everyone goes, you clearly have no taste in games. because you don't like The Last of Us. I'm like,
see, I hate that. Like, it's what gives you the right to know how people want to enjoy themselves?
Bugs
it's
the
like,
me.
yeah, like, I don't care
I was actually thinking of a very Destiny specific one to go back to Destiny again, because we do it every fucking week. Stop referring to yourself as a PvP player or a PvE player. You're a Destiny player. We all want the same thing.
There's no divide.
Good game. We all want a good game. PvP players want PvP to be good. PvE players want PvE to be good. But we all just want the same thing. A good Destiny. So stop separating yourselves. Please.
The divide comes because either one side is getting it too much, and then the other side is jealous, and they want to be looked at, and then vice versa.
Yeah. But at the end of the day, we're all guardians. We all want the same thing. A good Destiny.
Want it to succeed.
Yeah.
I don't know, man. I just want a god in my gun. That's all I want.
But it's the same thing with Star Wars. Like, that's to me, that's one of the it's a polar.
It's the most divisive fan base. That I can think of.
I hate the gatekeeping aspect of it. I hate you're not a real fan if you don't like or you like. It's like, don't dictate what someone enjoys. Like, if someone thinks Jar Jar Binks is the best character they've ever seen on a live action performance of their life, let them be happy. They've obviously got problems, but just go.
I don't have a problem with Jar Jar.
Either do I. Personally, I think he was fine. It was blown out of proportion, but that's a conversation for another day. Steve,
I feel like he was the scapegoat for anger about other things.
Yeah.
Like the CGI.
Oh my god, that CGI gets a Kev sigh.
If that trilogy was made now, with the exact same story plot, the exact same everything, just with actual mechanical droids and mechanical
and not
animals
Christensen.
and no CG in background.
No.
I'm joking.
Hayden Christensen was great.
I'm joking.
But at the same time,
he was given a terrible script.
He was.
Yeah.
He doesn't like sand. All right, let's get over that.
Don't mention the sand.
Sorry. Did we cut across Stephen's
we cut across Stephen big time.
Yeah. Oh no. So what I'm gonna do is I hate The Last of Us. We all know that. But I gotta go with a second one as well, just while I'm here. And this is something
We'll snake order this week. Okay.
So this is something I get shit for every so often, but I couldn't care less. But I do actually care in some games, and it's using cheats in a single player game.
Define how you don't use them, though.
So, this is my shame coming out. The first Soulsborne game I ever completed was Bloodborne, and the only reason I completed it was because there was a Blood Echoes cheat that I was able to use to get up to like soul level 400 and something, and blow past everything.
Went like that to the boss. Flick.
But it didn't.
I can't disconnect him. Damn it.
So, but what I will say is, from that, I got into the genre of Soulsborne games. And I
even he's
then
pissed
went
off
back.
at you.
So I then used that to go back to like Dark Souls 1, completed that legitimately during lunch breaks with a friend, then did Dark Souls 2, then did Dark Souls 3 when that came out, and then Sekiro. So like, even though the initial game that got me into it was I couldn't get past.
Is that why you're going back to play it again?
Kind
they
of.
do it legitimately.
But not only that,
but you have to play at 30 FPS and it's fucking horrendous.
But not only that, but I also stupidly went into New Game Plus, and then the old Hunters DLC came out, so I was like, okay, I'll go do that, and I can't do it.
They were hard, they were difficult.
I can't do that in New Game Plus, so that has fucked me over. So I'm going back so I can go through it again, which is a killer at 30 FPS.
Yeah,
but it is. But it's the one game. It's the one Soulsborne game that I actually used a cheat for.
I wasn't aware that cheat was a thing back then.
Yeah, no, I knew there was a Blood Echoes glitch, and if you had the disc version, you could restore your disc version to 0.1. Yeah, so
you're a disgrace.
There you go. So that's my guilt trip.
And here's we're snake ordering this week. Dylan, you're up.
What did I miss? What other game does Stephen hate now?
Nothing. His shame is that he used a cheat to beat Bloodborne.
I'm gonna spiral off that, and one of mine is when you're struggling with a boss, and exactly like Stephen was, dropping the difficulty just to get that completion.
I couldn't disconnect Steven, but I can disconnect you.
I do that so often, especially in Fallen Order. I'd drop it just because the boss fights were... I don't like the Souls games for that aspect. I don't play them because of that, but yeah.
So what difficulty did you play Fallen Order in?
The middle one. I always play middle.
Yeah, because I know this fucking psychotic up here played it on Jedi Master.
Yeah, you're all weirdos.
Oh, I played it on normal. Fuck that.
I automatically play all games on the hardest difficulty available to me. Except I didn't play Cyberpunk on the hardest difficulty because I just wasn't bothered. I just wanted to enjoy the whole story of the game and all that. I played it on the second hardest. But I default to the hardest difficulty available.
Nah, normal. But that's the thing. It's if a boss is getting tedious or you can't get that last quarter of health or whatever it is,
you punch the wall and try again.
Down. I can't punch the wall. My hand would fall off. Probably would.
You throw your Pokeball at the wall and try again.
That's my one, and I do it so often. But to me, it creates a better.
See, you're saying that, but you've included it in a list of things you're guilty of doing. So what does that say?
Guilty, but not disappointed in.
Guilty, but I still sleep at night.
Yeah.
On the opposite end of that scale, I can't go to sleep at night until I beat that fucking boss.
Yeah, no, I'm just like, I don't want to sit here for the 2 hours. I'm just gonna press this button here.
So come on, Kev, give us your second one then. What fucking guilt do you have?
It's not something I do anymore because I'm an adult now. But when I was younger and playing sports simulators, Pro Evo or FIFA, if Ado ever watches this, he's gonna tear into me and give me so much stick for doing this. But I could never lose or draw a match. If I was drawing or losing the match, I'd just restart the PlayStation and play the match again.
Oh, you awful human being!
I couldn't lose the games. And it's just the way I'm bred. I fucking hate losing. And also, like, if you're in a Champions League final match and you lose, and then you get sacked, and all your players that you've bought over the last 4 years are gone, you have to reset. I don't do it anymore.
That never happened to you.
No, because I reset the game and that was fine.
Now, I think I have done it.
I used to do it as a kid or as a teenager. Yeah. I used to do it, but it's not something I do now. Like, it's like,
I don't think I've played career mode since I was a kid.
I just don't lose now.
What was that last game we played, kid?
Okay, that's not in like against your friends and like multiplayer matches. I mean in your career mode.
Yeah.
So, like, if you look at any of my, like, FIFA or Pro Evo career modes from when I was, like, say, 12 or 13, it was, like, 100% win ratio.
Perfect seasons.
Perfect season every season.
FIFA are looking at this, like, remember that dude who got hired from Football Manager for, like, I don't know who it was, but, yeah, he got hired because he was a tactical genius.
Did you actually
Kev
see the
was
one
second runner-up for that.
Did you actually see the one with GTA last week?
Yes.
So GTA on PC, a modder released a new mod saying, I can reduce the load times in GTA by 70% by doing this one simple trick that everyone had. But yeah, he basically, I can reduce load times by 70%, and Rockstar were like, how are you doing that, bud? Like, let us into your secrets. And he said, there's just like this file, you just need to delete it from the game files and then everything's fine. Jesus. And they paid him. They're saying, we're going to implement that in a new patch that's going to reduce our load times by 70%. Here's $10,000, thanks.
Fair play.
Now that happens a lot. I think that's a reward. They do that though.
They want you to find issues.
It's a thing, yeah. If you can find a bug in GTA and provide the fix for it, they will actually pay you a 10k reward. And he's been paid 10k, and they're implementing it in a new patch. Like 70% load times. That's
it's out already.
Yeah, that's PS4 to PS5 difference in load times.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Could you imagine Bungie done that?
The 3 people in the world who
breaks
own
every
one.
week.
The 3 people in the world who own a PS5 would know about it.
Yeah. Who aren't playing it because there's no games.
Apparently.
So come on, Kev, give us your next one. Then we go backwards again.
We're double down.
Oh shit! I need to think of another one then.
Oh, you only had 2.
I haven't. No, I haven't. Sorry, I've forgotten. I'm keeping my mental check. Not like Dill's on his screen. I'm watching him. I'm so proud of him.
Yeah.
This is what I kind of brought this up in our This is actually just a topic that we did. It's that I buy games and start them and then stop playing
Never
them.
finish them. There's such a small window, isn't there, Kev? If you don't play within that first week of release,
I'm gonna blame Destiny.
Old news.
This wasn't a problem until Destiny came out. Like, I used to finish all my games. That box there is full of PS2 and PS3 games. I've played and cleared every single one of them, apart from the really shit ones, like 50 Cent Bulletproof. But that's the next one on my list of shameful, guilty things.
You have 50 Cent
I
Bulletproof.
own 50 Cent Bulletproof. Man, that was not a bad game.
Collector's edition.
That was not a bad game. No, that was not a bad game. I've said it 5 times. It really wasn't. Yeah, no, I'm a terrible thing. I buy games, and it's gotten worse since I've come to PC. And it's free game Thursday on Epic Game Store. Ooh, new game added in there. Oh, Steam are selling this game for €5 cheaper. Get in the library.
Yeah.
I like, if you look at my Steam playtime, it's kind of hilarious. It's like Destiny 2,000 hours, PUBG 600 hours, Wallpaper Engine 50 hours, Sekiro 50 hours, and then everything's like 1.5 hours, 2 hours, 1.5 hours, 0.5 hours, 0.2 hours, 0.01 hours. I'm terrible for finishing games. I really am.
I think that's mainly because of the live service route that a lot of games are taking now, and the FOMO that they also introduced.
Do you know what it is? What it is for me, right? And this, I don't know if you feel this, and sorry for cutting across you too. If I'm playing a single player game, I feel lonely in a weird way, because from playing Destiny for what, 7 years now. Yeah, it's 2021. It came out in 2014. I know. Yeah, where's it all gone? Gray hairs, gray beard. But anyway, not having someone to, and it's even when I'm playing PvP solo, I get bored and lonely because I don't have someone just talking to me. It's like, I can sit there doing something all day. I can be doing the most generic bullshit all day long, doing Dynamax adventures 24 hours straight. No problem. As long as I have somebody talking to me. And that's another problem that Destiny created, because I got used to having somebody always in my ear. So when I'm playing a game by myself, it's like, where are they gone? And I think that's why I loved Cyberpunk so much and could actually finish it, because it's so obnoxiously loud.
So much going on.
I've been in a nightclub. What?
You need like
Spotify, Kev.
I hate. Oh, is that no? I'm gonna save that. Thanks, Dill.
No, you need like a live stream or something that you can play a game with.
No, I don't enjoy that, man.
See, I'm like that.
I like 2 other people, maybe, you know.
I like listening to music down very low, playing PvE. So if I'm playing World of Warcraft the last while, and I'm just doing quest after quest after quest by myself, I'll put on a podcast, I'll put on Twitch, put it really low in the background.
Actually, that might be a good idea. Have a podcast on.
Yeah.
Because it's a voice.
Honestly, it breaks it up.
I'll just sit there I'll sit there talking away like I'm actually on it.
But having it down so that it doesn't overpower what you're actually doing.
That's not a bad idea. I might try listening to a podcast while playing stuff and have it low.
Yeah, I did the same with audiobooks. I got through like a whole book one time doing
the first boss on Dark Souls.
No, there was something in Mars. Oh, it was for the fucking nodes. You remember getting the nodes?
All 40 something sleeper nodes, yeah.
So I spent 8 hours. I was like, stick on a podcast or stick on an audiobook, listen to it, and just go fucking grind the nodes.
I've never been more proud of you.
It's the last thing I've ever grinded in Destiny. After that, I went, fuck this. and that was on PlayStation. So
yeah.
So then I didn't get it when I went over to PC. I had to do it all again.
That's what I saw. There was something similar for Worldline Zero, wasn't there? And I was like,
why not?
I can never get that weapon. It's okay. And then I got it when they brought over the Cyphers thing. Is that what it was?
When did they bring out crossplay? Is that with Shadowkeep?
Crossplay was with Shadowkeep, yeah.
So if you came to PC before Shadowkeep, you lost your character.
You had to choose your character, yeah.
Wow.
Yep.
So you still have your original one, don't you, Dill?
The one I play on PC is my PlayStation character. Because I never created that.
Yeah. I had to leave mine behind.
Same.
Sad. I hope at some point. I hope at some point they go combine it all.
Yeah. I'll get an 8-year service badge at the end of the year, and you will only get 4.
Right, Stephen. Think you're now up next again, aren't you?
No, Dylan's next, I think.
We're going.
Yeah.
So, what have I got?
I think you should do 2.
I've got 1 left that I've written down.
Wait, have you said the one already that we were never going to look at you the same way again now that we know you do it, or is this it?
This is it. Well, not look at me the same way. It's just, you're gonna know what I'm doing.
I've been waiting to hear this for about 3 weeks.
Jesus, Kev's building up the hype for fucking ages. No, it's something that I do all the time. That you know sometimes when you just want a minute or two, you come back, you have your snacks, you have whatever, and you're just gonna say, "I'll be right back in a few minutes." You're still here. You just want some silence and eat your snacks.
I'm gonna annoy the fucking hell out of you from now on.
I'm still on headset. I'm still here. Everyone thinks I'm gone, but I just want to go like this. Have you ever tried eating a yogurt with fucking this shit coming in your mouth?
You're supposed to use that to eat the yogurt with. Why do you think mine's all the way in here? I don't use it anymore. The yogurt.
No, I always eat my yogurt.
I sometimes do that, but not when I'm eating snacks or having a drink or when I'm BRBing. I sometimes do that when I'm just really pissed off at somebody. So I'll just deafen myself and I'll give out to them, but they can't hear me because I've deafened myself.
I think a few people have noticed that.
I make it quite obvious.
But yeah,
I remember we were doing a VOG raid on Destiny 1 and one of the boys forgot to mute himself before having a little ragey moment and he went out the back and broke a patio chair. He just like obliterated a patio. He got so pissed off about his own mistakes, to be fair, but he got so pissed off he went out and put his foot through the patio chair and then just annihilated the fucking thing. And yeah, you can be like, yeah, I broke the patio chair, lads. You're like, yeah, we heard you. Oh well, it's in bits.
Jesus.
Yeah,
we weren't even playing Trials. It was doing Templar and Bog.
Oh Jesus!
Oh my god.
He was just shit.
Q to May when we're doing the exact same thing.
Oh, very funny.
Yeah, sometimes I just want a minute to myself because I feel like you can't come and sometimes, especially if there's a conversation going on, you can't just come and go.
That's fair.
So I come and go in my own respects. But yeah, Stephen, do you want to take us away with another? The Last of Us Part 2, I hate it.
If I didn't play 1, I definitely didn't play 2. No, so
I always have to eat yogurt.
I'll knock out my last 2 as 2 separate ones. So the first one is something I got grief for in Modern Warfare 2 constantly. And it was for using thermal scope in my sniper all the time and just camping in the back. Just knowing where the lanes were, using thermal scope and just picking them off. And I don't know why, but I always got hate for it. I was always made feel bad for it. But I still love doing it anyway. So
I love a good thermal scope.
Yeah. Like, if I can see you better using the thermal scope, why wouldn't I use it? It's like Mask of the One-Eyed Man. If I can see you through walls, why wouldn't I use it?
I think it's just that whole
because
thing.
it's a terrible exotic and you should be wearing syntheseps instead.
Yeah, well, it's shit now, so.
I just feel sniping in general, especially in those days, like that was the game that kind of solidified the quickscope meme, wasn't it? Like that's
And
where
our friendship.
yeah,
it grew legs. And which?
And our friendship.
Yeah. Getting one kill and thinking you're the cheese. But to me, sniping is sniping, and especially in a war game like that, you're supposed to get your advantageous position. You stay there, put your claymore behind your feet, you lie down, and you just have fun.
This is counting as one of the things he's guilty of.
I did
like the thermal scope too, Stephen.
But you know what the other one is, actually? It was the what was it? Marathon runner and the knife thing where you could lunge for like half the map.
Oh yeah.
Synthesis.
Remember that fucking
Synthesis.
That was the other bullshit one, yeah. And then so the second one is, and this isn't something that I do personally, but it's something Nintendo feels I need to feel guilty for doing, and that's abandoning your island in Animal Crossing. Like, have either of you played Animal Crossing?
No, but Kathy is a serious Animal Crossing addict.
I have a mortgage in real life. That's one's enough, thanks.
That fucking raccoon, man. Jesus. So I
He's
got
like
it
a debt collector.
He is. He's worse.
Basically what it is, yeah.
Yeah. So I got it when lockdown. I got it when lockdown kicked in. I was like, you know what? This is something easy, fun to play. I was like, might get Deirdre into it. It'll be grand. Didn't work. And I played it for about a month. And I was like, yeah, this is fun. But you know what? I'm going to move on and play something else. So I finished in April. And then a friend of mine came down when the lockdowns eased. And we were talking about a Switch. And she's like, oh, yeah, like that Animal Crossing's any good. It's like, oh, come on, I'll show you. And I picked it up, turned it on. And I went in, and every single fucking resident made it their business to give out to me for abandoning them for 4 months. They're like, they literally said, it has been 4 months and X number of days since you've been here. It's like, what have you been doing? Like, why haven't you been paying attention to us? Where have you gone?
It's like when you come back to Dublin next time to visit your family.
But Stephen, that's when you pick up your Switch, you change the time to April 2nd, 2020. Yeah. And then they're like, hey, Stephen, haven't seen you in 24 hours. What's going on, buddy?
But I felt so guilty because they were like, you know, where have you been? What have you been doing? And I was like, well, that game's going back and never been opened again.
I must
have been open since September.
she put it down in the summer and didn't touch it until the big update came out in, I don't know when it was. The big life update. You can swim and stuff like that now. But she never said anything like that, so I'll ask her afterwards to see if she can corroborate your grief.
If not, I'll do it live next week. I'll turn it on live next week. We'll see what shit.
Even we're dead.
I'm washing my hair next week.
Yeah.
You don't have that much to wash. It's all gone.
It's getting a bit longer at the back now. It's getting there.
You're telling me?
Oh, don't start with the man bun. Jesus.
Got a little bun going on.
Yeah. So that's all of my gaming guild trips. Do you two have
sum
any
it
more?
Up for Stephen, he hates The Last of Us. And you will not hear about that again until next week.
You should have just sniped the raccoon with your thermal scope.
Yeah. He's got no heartbeat. That's the problem.
While pretending that it wasn't you I was giving out to. Fucking blueberries, man.
Fucking blueberry.
No, my favorite one of those ever was when we were in a 6-stack and I blamed the blueberry for something. And then I count, there is no blueberries. I was like, there is now.
Kicked from fire
Fuck me, man. Right, have you two any more, or will we move on to gaming worlds to live in?
I mean, I have a couple of quick fire ones I can do if Dill has none.
I'm all washed up.
One thing, I can't listen to music while playing games. I can't do it. I just cannot do it. Depends what it is, but I just cannot listen to music while playing games. I hate it. I'm a sucker for a good collector's edition, as you can see.
Yes, you
love
are.
A good statue.
There's something I was really guilty of that I wanted to say.
Enjoying a Poseidon's kiss.
You're gonna have to enlighten the world to what that is.
Oh my god, I can't believe you are all over the age of fucking 12 and you don't know what that is.
Sorry. No, there was something that I was thinking. It's a real kind of guilt thing, but I can't really remember what it is.
Is it ignoring your girlfriend for the better part of the week?
No.
Just checking.
No, there was something else that it was a real, yeah, this is a guilty thing. I'm really guilty of doing, but I can't remember what it is. I suppose it doesn't matter. If I remember, I'll come back to it.
So we move on to gaming worlds to live in.
Go for it.
Stephen, you want to move on, so off you go.
Yeah, so I'll start with the one. Dill, I know you're gonna give it out to me, but
in 1997,
you'd want to live in that world?
No, I don't. I didn't pick Final Fantasy VII. I picked
Final Fantasy 8.
14.
I picked Final Fantasy X because in that world you've got like badass summons. You've got really like lovely flora, fauna. Like the world is spread out. There's this like amazing atmosphere where everyone just feels connected and in tune with each other. Now there's a cult religion going on, but we'll ignore that part. And a thing that wants to kill you, but yeah, we'll ignore that part too. But the one thing it has that I've always wanted is blitzball, which is basically football, handball, underwater, where everyone can breathe indefinitely. And that it's fucking fantastic. And that's what I want. I want to live in a world where I can breathe underwater indefinitely and play football/handball. I'd be awesome at it. So, yeah, Final Fantasy
X simple things.
Simple things in life. Now, there's a lot more to it around that as well, but
we should probably actually, before we go deep diving on this, we're picking the gaming worlds that we want to live, that we would like to live in, but we're also going to do one other world, as in movies, TV, books, etc. So it's just so we're clear what we're talking about here.
Do you want me to throw out my second gaming world and then be done with it now?
Yeah, fuck it, go for it. Go on, we'll do it one at a time.
Might as well live in pure anarchy now. Go on, Stephen.
Yeah.
The Last of Us.
No, it's actually God of War 2018.
Why would you want to live there? You could literally
technically
in your little
it's
log
technically
cabin.
living in Asgard.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. And it's so
I don't know. I think I'd rather live with like MCU Thor and Loki, and plus Thor. Anthony Hopkins is there too, though he is. True. Well, it's still Anthony Hopkins.
But I think with any of these gaming worlds, we have to take into account most of them are trying to kill us in some way or another. So you're not.
I think that's the thing. Yeah, that's the thing with gaming worlds. Like most of them aren't really nice places to live in. Yeah, they're all something is trying to kill you.
Yeah,
but when I think of God of War, like it's just a beautiful place. Like even the Lake of the Nine. Just imagine going out there and just seeing giant Midgårdstormr chilling on a mountain, and you're like, this is fucking fantastic. And like just think of everything being peaceful. So you have the giants going around, you have the Valkyries, being able to go into the different realms. Like it's every kind of like fantasy nerd's dream of what you want.
Until one godson kills another godson, and then it's just fucking chaos for the next 12 months.
Right. Well, fuck you for ruining that.
It's been
they're my two gaming ones. True.
No, I like it though. It like I do think it's the fantasy element, isn't it? It's like the most appealing because it can be anything, and it's real serene and yeah.
No, it's amazing.
Until Sauron comes back.
Do you want to do your other, or do you want to leave that till the end?
I can do my other. Go for pure anarchy. So my other is the world in the Mistborn series.
I knew you were going to say that.
Purely because you get to ingest metals and get powers with them. And if you happen to be one of the few who are Mistborn, where you can use all of the metals and get all of the powers, it's it's unbelievable. Like, imagine a world that we're in now, but where you can pull on metal and pull yourself through the world, or push on it, or influence people's thoughts.
I mean, you could ingest metal if you wanted, but it would probably give you the power of liquid shit.
Or I might hallucinate with those powers.
Yeah,
and
exactly.
go,
or you might start glowing. Who knows?
Yeah, but no, that's my other one. So
the government would hate you because you could build your own houses then. Mortgages would be a thing of the past. Just gotta go over here and lick a rock and build it myself.
Imagine.
Go on.
Anyway, go on.
What are your ones, Dill?
I have two that I don't. No, I have one that I don't want to live in. I'm gonna start with that. Star Wars universe.
It's a horrendous place, isn't it?
Because it's fucking horrible. If you're not at the top of the food chain, you're
There's
fucked.
that nice peaceful period on Coruscant where everything's lovely and everyone lives in harmony and it's all nice and it's a beautiful city. And then it all goes to shit again.
But that's just on the top. That's just on the top. If you've seen the Clone Wars and you understand how the layers work, if you're not at the top, you're basically trash. So you'd hate everything.
It's just like living in America.
Yeah, basically. And then if you knew that Jedis were a thing and you weren't one, you'd be fucking depressed all the time because you didn't get a laser sword.
It's like I'm still waiting for my Harry Potter letter.
If you were a Jedi, you'd be like, I can't fucking take a break because someone's gonna be listening to my fucking thoughts. Can't wish fucking this fellow would fall off a cliff.
Are you trying to say that all the Jedi in Star Wars got the coronavirus vaccine and Bill Gates can now listen to their thoughts?
Yeah, but they all shared it together. So they're all Bill Gates.
It's a joke, internet. It's just a joke, internet.
The Force is really just the 5G signal. That's all. 5G. They're all just tapped into it with the corona vaccine.
The Force is just a 5G signal. I think Stephen could have done with a 5G signal earlier in the podcast.
But yeah, it's so vast and it covers so many like systems that you always hear about like the nicey parts, but then when you look more into it, it's if you're closer to the outer rim and stuff like that, it's pretty shit.
It's not great.
No.
Thank God. Outer rim shit.
Thank God that galaxy's far away.
But yeah, one that I would love to live in.
It was actually made in a Hollywood basement.
I think
he missed that
walk off. Yeah.
Said Stephen is that Alderaan's not actually far away. It was made in a Hollywood basement.
One that I would like to live in for obvious reasons, and Stephen touched on earlier on, is Animal Crossing.
Really?
Yeah. You would not have a care in the world. You just go about your business. You live on a little island.
You'd have an angry raccoon demanding
No,
money
you're not the
you.
main character. You're just one of these little bitches living in a fucking...
You think they get that shit for free?
Given out to you, coming back every 8 months. Yeah, but they don't pay for it. You're the one that pays for it. So I'd like to be a side character.
Yeah. What you want to be is a dole scratcher.
Dale's finding loopholes in this game.
Yeah. That was my honorable mention, but I just felt like I had to say. I wasn't gonna say it, but I felt like I had to say it because you mentioned it earlier on. Yeah. One I would like to live in for obvious reasons is Destiny.
I knew.
Again, why? It's why? A bad place.
No, it'd be situational.
You'd have to be a guardian, no?
A guardian, exactly.
Oh, absolutely, yeah.
An undying god killer. But you could not be just a resident of the last city. It would have to be upper echelon, top tier. You know?
Could you imagine? It's like the Star Wars problem. Imagine living in the last city and not being a guardian and be like,
yeah, it's that. I'd be like, you little fucking dickhead.
Someone kill me and give me a ghost.
I wanna go.
I'm surprised that isn't something they've actually touched on in the lore, though.
Which
people do try and steal a guardian's ghost to kill themselves in the hope that it'll resurrect them.
Yeah.
But I just think like your day-to-day things would be
It's all right.
very monotonous. But
I've got mine already.
Mine's up too high. But as a guardian and being involved in the fight and being involved in the workings of protecting the system, I think that'd be pretty cool. And you'd finally get to see the inside of a fucking ship 7 years later.
It's never happening.
My cockpit better have a little bobblehead cat.
It's never gonna happen.
It will eventually.
Okay, it is kind of weird. We've never actually seen the inside of. I know we don't have ship battles like that, but we've never actually seen the inside of a ship. Yeah, I never thought about that.
Because we turn into data. It's like the cryptarchy. We turn into data when we get transmitted.
Well, then what's the point in having a ship? Or what's the point in having a big ship?
Looks cool.
Mine is a cat.
And they can charge you microtransactions.
Could you imagine walking up to Tess and being like, I'm not giving you this silver, bitch. I'm giving you this bright dust. Can't get shit for that on the black market. Where's Fenchurch now? Yeah.
See, a gaming world I'd like to live in was not easy to think of because I was just like, for the most part, something wants to kill you, or it's a really shitty place, or a really seedy place. Like Cyberpunk, Night City is a beautiful city, but it's a fucking horrible place to live.
That's where I thought you were going to choose.
I don't want to live there.
Night City.
No, I don't want to live in Night City. It's a horrible place.
Oh. Oh wow! Okay.
Like,
but that's the thing. When you think of all like the shit that goes on,
the Destiny universe is everything wants to kill you. Like,
but at least you can't die. I thought was my kind of loophole.
You can if you're Cade, like in Dark Souls, in like Soulsborne games, they're all really like horrible places. Yeah. Like, why would you want to be in that universe? So the only one I could actually think of that I'd like to live in.
Oh,
is
I know
the
where
Pokemon universe.
Yeah.
How awesome!
Fuck you, Kev.
How awesome would that be?
Best choice.
How awesome would that be?
Waking up at 10.
Now, then you're thinking of which
region
you want to live in, but
the unreleased region.
The unreleased region. It's the only one that actually is like a somewhat nice place. I know you've got the theories about the reason why there's no adult men in the first games is because there was a war and all the men are at war and whatever. But we're gonna pretend that those theories.
Or you're in a coma.
Or you're in a coma. We're gonna pretend all those don't exist and just forget about them. I mean, how amazing would it be? Like, you're a kid. It's like, you're of age now. Go collect Pokemon, and here's your Pokedex, and woo, go become a Pokemon. It's a nice, easy place to live, really.
But you know, it'd be even like, I don't want to say better or worse if it didn't play out like the games, and you went into you went outside your town for the first time at 10 years of age, and a fucking pincer was there just trying to chop your fucking leg off. It wasn't a little Pidgey or a Caterpie.
What kind of mod did you have for Pokemon Blue and Red? I didn't get a pincer until the Safari Zone. Yeah, but like, it'd be fine because you'd have your mom or your dad. They'd have Pokemon to help you out of the place. It'd be fine.
Your mom just wants that fucking children's allowance and not have to spend it on you.
She wants Professor Oak's. Whoa, yeah.
She wants to know why he's called Professor Oak.
But it is on paper, I think, the best place because like everyone. But then at the same time, not everyone is a trainer.
It's like the real world, but there's Pokemon.
And your objective is every month you're going to try out for a new gym. You're going to train.
It'd be fucking great. I couldn't actually think of a second one that I'd like to live in. I really couldn't. So I'm going to say one that I wouldn't like to live in. And it's the one we currently live in. And it's the prequel to The Division. I love dystopian futures. I love watching films and playing games for dystopian futures. But I didn't plan on living in one. So hopefully this bullshit can blow over soon.
Or we'll just
real
go
talk.
Max
real talk. The dark zone is Ballyfermot. Never go there. Never go there.
It's very true because you could get killed or you could get chased out and have to drop all your shit, and you can't go back for it unless you have a team.
We're not going to Ballyfermot.
Team of Guardians.
We're not going to Ballyfermot.
Yeah, I was trying to think of other worlds like in
it's
Zelda,
not the most
in Zelda,
universes.
shit always goes wrong. In anything else that I'm looking at, like something always goes wrong. And why would you want to live somewhere where something always goes wrong and you need a hero to save the day? If you're not the hero, it's a very boring place to live.
But wouldn't you like to be living in the time before the hero? Like the other way, there's always that like 1,000-year peacetime. Yeah. Until Sauron comes back and says, "Give me my ring, bitch."
Yeah, it's very difficult to think of them.
Yeah, there's always something wrong with one of the worlds.
Exactly.
So so I only have one gaming one, which is Pokemon, and let's be real, we all want to live in the Poke universe. My other one, it's not necessarily the whole world; it's a part of one of the worlds. I would have liked to be a hobbit. They've got an easy life. Like they get up, they make sure the land's okay. They eat food all day. They get drunk. They smoke their pipes, and they've just got an easy life.
Kev, that's what everyone outside of Dublin does.
Yeah, and that's what I'm like. I think that might be why Stephen moved down the country. Like he just wanted to be a hobbit.
I can tell you, a fucking lie.
Well, like, how peaceful and just like you wouldn't have a problem in the world. Your biggest problem is that a wizard is coming and blowing up some fireworks and disturbing the peace.
Or your cousin steals your cutlery.
Yeah.
First world problems. No, that's yeah, especially like
I'm not saying I want to live in Middle Earth necessarily because again, shit went wrong and there was wars, but a hobbit's life is a simple life. So
wars always avoided.
If I ever wake up in a different life, I'd like to be in the Shire. I'm already right. I'm already the correct height for it. I'm already from the correct country.
You're not from New Zealand.
And you have the hairy feet to go.
No, in terms of like Middle Earth, the Shire is kind of Ireland and England.
I think it's depicted based off.
It basically is. It's like trekking across Europe.
Yeah.
So in other words, Turkey is Mordor. We all knew that anyway.
I would have said the UK, but same difference.
No, that's post-Brexit. So that's the TV show that hasn't come out yet. You're going to see a different side of the Lord of the Rings.
Oh, that's Era 2, isn't it? Yeah.
Yeah. Which we got. I'll keep that for the news segment, but yeah. My second one, and like that, I picked one from books and movies.
It's gonna be Harry Potter.
It's the Harry Potter universe.
It's gotta be. It's why I didn't
Wizarding World.
I was leaving it for you.
I was literally when you were kind of teeing that up. I was like, "No, don't say it."
I was letting you have it. I was letting you have Harry Potter.
Yeah, it's the Harry Potter universe. Like, how cool would it be? Just like that. You're 11 years of age. You get your letter.
Again, they live a really simple life. Apart from obviously the main protagonists in it, they have a really simple life.
Yeah, and you could be an Arthur Weasley who's obsessed with everything that's normal, like rubber ducks and the function of a phone box, or you could be an Auror, you could be a caretaker for magical creatures, you could be anything. So vast and so interesting between the whole of it. Like, it'd be the one place where I'd actually want to go back and be a teacher, just to stay in the school and stay in that kind of experience longer. But yeah. And you'd get a cool wand.
Yeah, it would be cool.
Wand. I already have one here somewhere.
I
think I might have gifted it to Louise.
Got on my wands.
Who's
it's on the ground.
I have Sirius's here.
I've Harry. I've got Voldy. I've got
sorry.
Leviosa. And then I've got my fave, which is the Elder. Well, Dumbledore's.
And I've got Sirius Black's one, and Louise has Snape's, Harry's, Dumbledore's, and one other.
They're such a nice collector's piece.
They are.
They really are.
Yeah. The ones from the what you call it?
The Wisdom World. Oh, the Noble series.
The Noble series, yeah, they're really nice.
That was my first one, and it was the Voldemort's one. And I find
they do really nice replica stuff.
The finish on it is so much nicer than the other ones I got were from the studios in London and in Orlando.
No, the
and just the finish on this is much nicer. Yeah.
The Orlando studio is deadly though, isn't it?
Oh, it's amazing. Incredible. Like the last time I went was last year. I had a migraine and I was on an overnight in Orlando, and I literally stood at the front gates at 9 o'clock in the morning, ready to buy a ticket. And I was like, I don't, because you have to buy a ticket for 2 parks now if you want to experience Diagon Alley or you want to experience Hogsmeade. And I was literally standing there because I didn't want to buy 2 tickets. I just wanted to buy one. About a half an hour it took me to decide, and I bought 2, and I just went and sat there for a couple of hours, literally just because I couldn't go on anything because I had a migraine, and I literally just sat there. I had a butterbeer, I had fucking other shit.
Butterbeer is a wank, man. It's so hard.
Ice in Orlando
nice.
It's much better.
It's top tier.
Because in the UK it's only cream soda and cream on top, but in Orlando it's actual beer.
The blended one, it's incredible. But yeah, just literally sitting there in that environment, it's so nice. And if you could imagine that was real, it would be
the dragon on top of that, on top of Gringotts.
On Gringotts, Like even there's I find that new section, because Diagon Alley is only relatively new in Orlando. Like having the Nocturne Alley in it as well, but it's just to have those extra places, just to go and explore. It's not like the main centerpiece. You could just walk around and be in that kind of that bubble. Yeah, it's really nice. Yeah, and then getting the train over to Hogsmeade, which wouldn't happen, but it's really cool. But that's probably my favorite universe in of all.
It's a solid one. Yeah,
I'm really looking forward to that game.
Can't wait.
Yes,
can't wait for it. I hope it's good.
Really can't wait. I think that's one it's one that I'm gonna have to do multiple playthroughs from different aspects and create different characters and go down different routes, because
hopefully that's there. There's reasons to do that. Hopefully, we'll see.
Be good or be bad.
We'll see. Quick one on the news.
Yeah.
All right, so there's quite a bit of gaming news this week.
Very big week, yeah.
Very big week. So first one I've got up. So Kev fucked up on the audio because Kev is Kev, and that's what happens. So Gotham Knights is now launching in 2022.
That's the one from Rocksteady, isn't it? Or is that the other one? Yeah. Suicide Squad.
It's Arcane, isn't it?
Suicide Squad is Arcane. It's not Arcane. It's Rocksteady.
I think Gotham Knights is Arcane Studios.
Yes, Stephen was right.
See, whichever one it is, I don't mind a delay, because it's Rocksteady. It's that caliber of the Arkham series. So it's just gonna put a bonus on top of that. Yeah.
So next up in gaming news, we got a Ghost of Tsushima movie in the works, and it's from the John Wick director. So that is very exciting. Hopefully it doesn't get game to movie.
And Sucker Punch are working on it as well as executive producers. So I was gonna go get my little Jin Sakai, but I'll keep him. That would be incredible if that plays out any way, visually like the game. It's gonna be. It's just such a nice, beautiful looking game.
Goddamn ads.
Yep, go.
So next up, Cyberpunk's patch 1.2. We are starting to see more of that being shown off by CD Projekt Red after the cyber attack. So hopefully that's not too far down the line. This isn't all that's in the update. This is just them starting to show more stuff, and over time they will give us even more, and hopefully that is out and in our hands before too long. So this one was about the police system being reworked a bit to make it less ridiculous, and also about driving, that you are going to be able to edit your how
is this the first playable patch? No. Oh wow. No. I don't mean new content. I mean, as in, is this the patch that's being pushed for PS5 and PC?
So this isn't the one that is the upgraded versions for next gen consoles. This is just fixing some of the bullshit that was wrong with the game, and hopefully improving some performance as well along the way. I really like how they're actually showing it off, the developer insight. They actually have Gillian Jordan. And next up, we got the release date for Black Widow.
That really doesn't look like her. Jesus.
Scarlett Johansson's getting her standalone thing. There's a accidental crotch shot because Kev's an idiot. I meant to zoom in on the date, and that is a whoopsie. So, but yeah, July 9th on Disney Plus.
I like the way they're doing it because it's irregardless if the cinemas are back open, then it's gonna be on Disney Plus, which I think is a win-win. It's kind of like Marvel didn't want to be the first ones to kind of take that leap with streaming services. And what has been released has been recepted so well that it's not a risk anymore.
It's been recepted well, though. Recepted.
Ugh. Yes.
But yeah, the next big one is Microsoft are looking to buy Discord. For reference, they bought ZeniMax Bethesda for $7.5
This podcast, by the way, is sponsored by Microsoft. Thanks.
No, it's not. Before we get delisted from YouTube for spreading lies.
It's sponsored by Skype.
It's definitely not sponsored by Skype either. But yeah, Microsoft are in the talks to buy Discord, and that's really huge and could have some repercussions in the gaming industry. That could be quite interesting.
They want it.
But yeah, 10 billion is a ridiculous figure of money, but it kind of shows Microsoft are absolutely gargantuan in gaming and in technology.
The one thing consoles need is the ability to communicate with other people outside of your ecosystem, and now this has probably killed that. That won't happen now. PlayStation will be left on their own.
But that's Sony's own fault. They're very Nintendo when it comes to stuff like that. They want to be the one that does it. They don't want to be involved if they're not the dictator.
Hopefully, Microsoft they hop on board with it and with Microsoft and Discord becomes an app for that PlayStation.
And how big of an influence kind of Discord has had as well.
Yeah, Discord's a phenomenal app, to be fair. Like it's Discord's
it's just so seamless in comparison to others. Yeah.
Everything should be on Discord. Absolutely everything should be on Discord. Moving on though, we've got Steam Next Fest, which is the Steam Summer Game Fest, which has been rebranded, and they are taking on that E3 slot. They are taking on that E3 slot in the middle of June, so it's June 16th to the 22nd, and that is going to have developer live streams, game trailers, and a ton of free demos. So if you're not familiar with Steam Summer's Game Fest, normally there is a shed ton of demos that they show off and let you play for free. So that's very, very exciting. So add that to Jeff Grubb's Summer of Madness.
Which there's no need for E3 to be a thing. Why, like...
Guilt trip. I remember. It's basically, I'm a sucker, like an absolute sucker.
End the stream right there.
Kev without context. No, I am a sucker for like game announcement live streams, that sort of stuff. I know whoever runs E3, I can't think of the name of the company at the moment. They're scumbags. Everyone knows they're scumbags. There's no question. I love E3 and I miss E3. And I'd love to go to E3, but that's probably never going to happen again because there's no place really for that E3 anymore because of how developers are doing their own thing now. But hopefully E3 can rebrand themselves because I'm a sucker for that week of E3. It's like gamer
Like,
Christmas.
It is amazing having it all at one place as well, but they're tailoring to the bigger ends of like the likes of Sony and Microsoft and stuff, and it's so expensive to have a booth there.
It's disgusting. It's like a 6-figure fee.
It doesn't tailor to the indie studios and the ones that would benefit the most off interaction 1v1 and people stepping in and playing demos and stuff like that. And that's unfortunate because the big studios now can, like what's happening last year and what's going to continue happening, they can have their Nintendo Directs, they can have their PlayStation things, and it's just as effective, you know?
Yeah, 100%.
Especially with the release of new consoles, like next-gen consoles.
That's one of my most guilty pleasures in gaming is those game announcement, whatever you want to call them, showcases.
Yeah.
The Xbox one at E3, the PlayStation one at E3, staying up till 4 a.m, watching the CEO of fucking Sony prance across the stage. Yeah, I love that shit. Absolutely love it.
It would be great if, in a perfect world, it would be done all together in one place over a weekend. And
Livewire at E3.
Livewire. Like a subscribe, it might happen.
We get a booth at GCX in our virtual
Livewire.
space.
Yeah, I was going to say at Guardian Con, whatever Guardian Con is called now. Yeah. Right, back to the news. Over to you, Sandy.
It's raining sideways.
Anakin's in the corner crying now.
Anyway, the last thing to touch on is the Immortals Phoenix Rising
third one.
DLC. The third one, Myths of the Eastern Realm, is out today or yesterday by the time this goes live.
And it's a whole new character as well. Yeah.
A whole new area, whole new character. According to Luke.
I still have the first 2 DLCs to get through, so I haven't picked it up since finishing the game, so
I'm sure we've missed some news, but
Monster Hunter Rise comes out tomorrow. That's gonna be huge.
What? It's not out already, no?
Nope, tomorrow.
What?
Monster Hunter Rise.
Oh, that's true. Monster Hunter Rise, sorry.
There's been a lot of showcases over the last 2 weeks to a month.
It's gonna be great.
Not more. It's gonna be huge for Switch.
Monster Hunter players are gonna love it. So
yeah.
I
can't wait to play it personally.
Not really my cup of tea personally.
But just to have something like that on a handheld device, like to go in, do a hunt for 15-20 minutes, put it down, play your main thing in between.
10 or 15 minutes. What kind of hunts are you doing?
Teamed hunts.
Anyway, I think that's us for today, really. I think unless there's anything else you guys want to bring up.
No, nothing else.
No,
if you didn't tune in yesterday, Tuesday, to watch me opening Pokemon cards, go watch that. It is the most recent video before this one. And if you did, thanks, GG's. I guess.
Gave him some streamer luck. So
a lot of streamer luck, man.
Did you?
One of the boxes was okay. One of the boxes was just pure fire. It was great. It was pretty good. No black, no shiny Charizard, but pretty good otherwise.
You're not a real content creator, then.
No. And I'm gonna go play some Iron Banner. I'm gonna go play some Grandmaster Nightfalls, and then I'm gonna play Trials all weekend and get angry, depending on the loot. If the loot's shit, I just won't play it much.
I'm gonna have a bottle of wine, and I'm gonna watch Avengers.
I might even play some Last of Us. Probably not.
Steven, what do you think about that?
Go back to it.
Kev, I will continue my Final Fantasy VII journey when you finish the.
No, you won't.
I know.
One is a blockbuster, incredible game, and the other is mixed receptions.
You choose.
No.
Anyway, I think that's
remake.
That'll just spiral into a conversation in itself.
It will.
I'm staying out
we went on about Trials for a little bit longer than we meant to, but it was actually I thought it was a constructive conversation. Yeah. I actually thought it was a very good conversation from 3 different points of view. That wasn't just arguing.
We can talk about the DC cinematic universe.
But it wasn't just arguing about the sandbox or about abilities or about this or about cheaters or about that. It was a well-rounded, good discussion. So I enjoyed it.
Sweet.
I'm gonna shut up now so Steven can sign off because I can see him waiting there.
I'm I signed off last week. It's still Dill's turn.
There we go.
You sounded exactly like C-3PO there for like a split second, and I just want you to know that.
Actually, funny story, Dill. I was in the tower the other night. You were there, and I saw the username that I thought I recognized. So sent the photo of it into the Pokemon Go group. Ended up, it is the guy from the Pokemon Go group.
No way.
And he sounds just like Steven.
Oh god.
He came into chat and Chaotix was like, "Is that? No,
why'd you change your name,
It's
Steven?
not. It's not Blaze. It's not Steven. What's going on?"
So now Trials this weekend is going to be live, and you're going to be playing it with both of them, and you're not going to know who's calling out what or where anyone is.
I'm going into a
because they're
tunnel.
both the same
I'm
person.
going into a tunnel. I'm going to start breaking up now.
Anyway,
Dill, close it out.
that has been our discussion on Trials, gaming universes we want to live in, and our gaming guilt trips. And if you didn't get the message, Stephen hates The Last of Us, and always will, by the sounds of it. So yeah,
Repping
thanks
your
for
hate
tuning
car.
in. If you've made it to the end, thank you.
Hope you had a good cycle, Griff.
Yeah, we're better than Peloton. Let's be real. Anyways, we'll catch you
Less
guys
ads.
next week.
There's less ads.
Sweet.
Bye.
Bye.
Bye.